All right, folks, we're joined by Coach Kielsmeyer, Brittany Moore, and Destiny Leo. We'll open it up with a statement from Coach, followed by questions for the student athletes. So, Coach, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, what an amazing college basketball game. You know, both teams really wanted to win, and, you know, we just were lucky really basically to make one more play than what they did. But you got to give Northern Kentucky a ton of credit. They were ready to play. They played really hard. They played great. And, you know, we just persevered and found a way. You know, I use this opportunity right now just to say how proud I am of Cleveland State, the city of Cleveland, and just what we've built and how many lives we're able to impact through the game of basketball. And, you know, thank you so much to the Horizon League for putting on such a first-class event. And it's an amazing opportunity for our student athletes to experience the highest of the highs. And so proud of Cleveland State, so proud of our players, so proud of these two.
All right, questions for the student athletes. If you would, please raise your hand. I'll have a microphone brought to you. So questions for the student athletes. Sarah, we'll start with you.
Destiny, you were the difference in overtime for your team. You had 5 points. How were you able to play your best basketball when it mattered most?
I mean, I think when overtime started, we had some good play calls, and we had Mel out there setting really good screens. I wouldn't say it was just me coming out there. I mean, it was definitely a team effort. We had some great offensive rebounds in overtime, and we were finishing to the basket, so I think that was really the difference.
Destiny, there were a couple stretches in this game where points were extremely hard to come by, and you guys really had to battle from behind a lot. Can you talk about the mental toughness that was required to get through those stretches, and what are the one or two things you think that, and Brittany, you can take this too, what enabled you to overcome those lapses and get the win in the end?
Destiny, go ahead.
I mean, I would say what helped us overcome that was our defense. You know, when it's hard to put the ball in the basket, we were making up for it on the defensive end, getting stops. But like I said before, I mean, we really took it to the hole in overtime, and we got some offensive rebounds and extra possessions, and those were really important to the game.
Brittany?
I think for me, one thing I tried to keep reiterating, you know, to the 5 on the floor and all of us in the huddles that we've been here before, you know, we've had a chip on our shoulder pretty much the entire season because we know, like, that every time we take the court, we're going to get everybody's best. So, you know, we've been in nail biters both times with NKU this season, and not just them, but other teams as well, and we've always found a way to, you know, finish on top. So just reminding everybody, you know, that this isn't new for us, that we've been here before, and we just got to keep grinding, keep fighting on defense, like Dad said, and the ball will go in.
This one's for Coach or Brittany. You guys were plus 12 on the boards today. Brittany played a big part in that with 10 rebounds. How important was that in a game where possessions mattered?
Well, we track rebounds all year, and I challenge our players that, in my opinion, there's not a better indicator as to how hard you're playing than that rebounding margin when you've got a talented team that can rebound. You know, if you don't have very good rebounders, maybe that stat's not true. But this team is extremely talented athletically and on the boards to be able to go get the ball. And so we challenged them, and they responded. You know, we needed every rebound. You know, in a game like this, every single thing is magnified huge. And so every board on both ends made a huge difference and was a big part of why we won the game.
Brittany, same question.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
About the rebounding margin.
Oh, yeah. Like Coach K said, you know, that's something we pride ourselves on every single year. You know, we always talk about the 3 margins, turnovers, rebounds, and free throws, and we just feel like, you know, if we come out, we play the way we're supposed to play, do what we're supposed to do. The stats will show that, you know, and I think for us, especially with our depth and just our level of physicality that we have on our team, there's no reason why we shouldn't dominate on the boards every night. So we really feed off of that, excuse me, both offensively and defensively. So for us, that's a really big emphasis every game.
So for Coach, was there any thought about maybe fouling on the last at the end of regulation when Duval hit the 3 or then in overtime, their last possession there?
Yeah, the never-ending question, right? Do you foul up 3? I mean, you know, I don't know. It's just a philosophy thing. If you're gonna you better work on it. And how many times have we worked on it?
Not once.
Not once. So, we believe in our defense. So to answer your question, no, there wasn't. We shoot, they got us twice, right? They got us in Kentucky, and they got us to send it in overtime. So, we finally got the stop when we needed it at the end, and it's just a philosophy thing. It's a never-ending coach question, right? It's you line up coaches and get 50% do it, 50% don't. I don't know. We just don't.
Mike.
Chris, can you talk about the comfort level a coach has when you have a conference player of the year and she's producing like that again and again and again in a game like this?
Yeah. Destiny Leo's a special player in part because she's a really special person. She works hard on her game. She wants to be as good a player as she possibly can be. She wants to play professionally. She wants to coach someday. The kid's just all in basketball-wise. The connection and the relationship that we have in each other is pretty special. And, she was giving me the look in the huddle. I don't know what the look was, but she would give me a look that I hadn't seen. And I don't know exactly what it was, but I think it was just, Coach, give me the ball. And so we were giving her the ball. And, but I also want to make sure that, when you have a player of the year, you got to have really talented players around her, and you have to have a lot of team success. So Destiny Leo is the player of the year in this league because we're really talented players across the board, and we've got a special program. And so, Destiny will be the first one to tell you that she doesn't win this award without everybody. And that's what encompasses our program, is a true we over me mentality.
Coach, you guys came out really strong in overtime, scoring the first few points and taking the lead. What did you tell your team before overtime started, and what was the mentality going in?
Well, I think at times tonight we really pressed. We were just out of sync, and so I spent a lot of the first half trying to get them to calm down and just settle in and play our kind of basketball. And, I think initially the shock of going to overtime was in their faces, and we didn't want to be in that position because we needed to get one more stop. But then it kind of just turned. Now, I didn't have to say a whole lot to them. This is an experienced group, and like I said, when I was getting that look right here, that look was in overtime, going into overtime. And I don't even know if she knows she's doing it, but I'm like, damn, she's staring through me. Like, she gave me like, dang. And I don't know if she's mad at me because I didn't make a play call quick enough and she turned it over or what, but, you can ask her. Put her on the spot. I don't know. It just,
Yes.
It's just a special group. And I know that word gets used a lot in athletics, but you don't win 29 games and have whatever we have, the second or third, fourth most wins in the country. That's special. And you got to have a lot of toughness and a lot of desire, and that's what this group has.
Don't know if any or all of you want to take this, but I know, Chris, you were, I don't want to say frustrated, but maybe that is the right word. In the first quarter, when I trying to read your body language, you felt the defense wasn't what it needed to be when they were making that run. Less from a technical point of view than just from a thematic overview. What did you tell the players, and how did they respond to that challenge that I'm sure you gave them during one of the timeouts?
Well, again, everybody always wants the special words that a coach says or something. Players make plays. Like, I said it. We just try to get them to calm down. I felt like if we could get settled in and get off to a good start, maybe we would take off and play some of our best basketball of the year tonight, which is what you need to do this time of year. And we got that start, and then they got on us transition-wise. And we knew going into the game that their transition was elite. And we had to do a lot to get back to cut the basket and make sure they were going to have to work hard to get a good shot in transition. And we didn't do that. And so we really focused on that in the huddles of trying to say, hey, we just got to put more into it. We're putting a lot into it, but Northern Kentucky's putting more. And we got to swing that. And ultimately that's what we were able to do. But, again, I'm never one that's big on saying that, I said the special this or that. Good players make plays and win games, and that's what I'm fortunate to coach.
Mike?
Destiny, what was the look you were giving them?
I don't even know this look he's talking about. I mean, there was a look.
I
and
saw
he
the
said
look.
why. He already said why I had that look. But he's talking about a different look.
No,
so
that was the look.
I don't know.
No, that was the look.
That was the
That
look.
was the
Brittany
look.
said that was the
That
look.
was definitely the look.
You saw it?
I saw it, yeah. Phew. I could feel it.
She's
Yeah.
penetrating me here. She got laser eyes. Like, dang,
Yeah.
this just went right through me. She was frustrated with the turnover.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. And, you know, she has never said, Coach, you can't do that to me ever in 3 years. And she's like, Coach, you can't make that call that late. So, you know, I got to coach better.
I got to take care of the ball better.
Destiny, whether you knew you were giving that look or not, just talk about the idea, you know, you want the ball in your hands, but you also know that there's like an entire bench of people that are counting on you to get it done. Just talk a little bit about that mentality that it takes to kind of want the ball in crunch time and then come through.
You know, I wouldn't necessarily be able to have that confidence in those moments if it weren't for my teammates. You know, Gabby had said something to me right when we were going into overtime. She's like, let's get it. Like, this is your time. And, you know, we just had a lot of girls make a lot of different buckets in overtime. And it's like we were going through the rotation. Like, Gabby had a layup. Brittany had a layup. Mel got an offensive rebound. Like, we were just going through the whole roster. And, I mean, tonight, basically, I think that's really, like, what brought us out with the win is how much depth that we had during the game.
Let's go right here.
Coach, so looking ahead to tomorrow, what's the biggest thing you want to see from your team against Green Bay?
Get the job done right and keep your eye on the prize. You heard that a few times this week, Kyle. You know, is there a lot at stake tomorrow? Just do your job right. Keep your eye on the prize. The outcome is what it is. Go do your job right. And when we do that, we feel like we got a really good chance to win.
All right, any more questions at this time? All right, thanks, guys. Go rest up. Congrats on the win.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.